What if the 2026 FIFA World Cup finally delivers a match that football fans have been waiting nearly 2 decades to see? Lionel Messi versus Cristiano Ronaldo in the World Cup final. It sounds like a dream, but after the group stage concluded, both teams ended up on opposite sides of the knockout bracket. That means there is only one possible way they can meet, on the biggest stage of all, the final. Since then, the football world has started imagining a showdown that could become the perfect ending to the greatest rivalry in football history. I truly believe this is the match that millions of football fans around the world have secretly been hoping for. It wouldn't simply be Argentina versus Portugal, but a clash between two legends who have dominated the modern era for nearly 20 years. Of course, the road to the final remains incredibly difficult, and there is absolutely no guarantee that either team will make it that far. But that's exactly what makes every victory for Argentina and Portugal feel even more meaningful. Every step they take brings the dream of witnessing one final Messi versus Ronaldo showdown closer to reality. So in today's video, I'm going to break down the possible scenario of Argentina versus Portugal, Messi versus Ronaldo in the 2026 FIFA World Cup final. Let's get started. A rivalry that has never happened. If you ask me to name the greatest rivalry in the history of modern football, my answer would be simple: Messi and Ronaldo. For nearly 2 decades, they have taken turns breaking records, winning Ballon d'Or titles, dominating the UEFA Champions League, and setting the standard for what it means to be the best player in the world. Every achievement by Messi has always been compared to Ronaldo's, and vice versa. Their rivalry has gone far beyond club football and international competition, dividing millions of fans into 2 passionate camps who continue debating who truly deserves to be called the greatest player of all time. However, there is a fascinating fact that many people often forget. Despite both players appearing in 6 FIFA World Cups, they have never faced each other even once. Year after year, the tournament draw and the knockout bracket always kept them apart. Now, at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, that opportunity has finally returned. With Argentina and Portugal placed on opposite sides of the bracket, they can only meet in the final. If both teams manage to overcome every obstacle along the way, the football world will finally witness a dream match that fans have imagined for years. The road to the final. As soon as the group stage ended, my attention immediately shifted to the knockout bracket. Argentina and Portugal are now on opposite sides, meaning they can only meet in the World Cup final. But before that can happen, the path ahead is anything but easy. Argentina will begin the round of 32 against Cape Verde. If they advance, they could face the winner of Australia versus Egypt in the round of 16, followed by a potential quarterfinal clash against Colombia or Switzerland before taking on one of the strongest teams on their side of the bracket in the semifinals. Meanwhile, Portugal arguably faces an even tougher road. Their journey begins against Croatia in the round of 32. If they get through, Spain is the most likely opponent in the round of 16. After that, Portugal could still face Belgium or the United States in the quarterfinals, before potentially meeting England, France, or Germany in the semifinals, depending on how the other side of the bracket unfolds. In other words, if both Argentina and Portugal truly managed to survive all of those challenges, the final would not only be Messi versus Ronaldo, it would also prove that both nations genuinely earned their place on football's biggest stage. The final the world has been waiting for. If Argentina truly meets Portugal in the World Cup final, I believe it will become one of the greatest matches in football history. This is about far more than 2 nations competing for the FIFA World Cup trophy. It's about 2 legends who have dominated modern football for nearly 2 decades. Messi and Ronaldo have won almost every major title imaginable, shattered countless records, and inspired millions of fans around the globe. Yet despite all of their achievements, they have never faced each other on the biggest stage in football, the FIFA World Cup. What makes this potential match even special is the timing. Messi has the opportunity to end his international career as the defending world champion, while Ronaldo is still chasing the one major trophy that has always eluded him. At their current age, the 2026 FIFA World Cup is very likely their final opportunity to share the same stage in football's most prestigious tournament. If this final truly happens, I believe the world won't just be watching a battle for the World Cup title. It will be witnessing the closing chapter of the greatest rivalry football has ever seen. Its impact on football. In my opinion, if Argentina really does face Portugal in the World Cup final, the impact will extend far beyond football itself. This match has the potential to become one of the most watched games in FIFA World Cup history. Messi and Ronaldo are global icons whose appeal reaches every corner of the world. The attention of the media, sponsors, and millions of football fans across different countries would almost certainly be focused on this single match. It would not be an exaggeration to call it the dream final, as it would bring together the two greatest icons of modern football on the sport's biggest stage. More importantly, this match would become a historic moment for an entire generation that grew up witnessing the rivalry between Messi and Ronaldo. For nearly 20 years, the two have defined football through extraordinary records, countless trophies, and unforgettable achievements. If they finally meet in the 2026 FIFA World Cup final, the match would not only determine the next world champion, but would also serve as the perfect conclusion of one of the greatest rivalries in the history of sports. Regardless of the result, it would almost certainly be remembered for decades by football fans around the world. The end of an era. When I look at their journey, the 2026 FIFA World Cup feels like the final chapter in the story of two of the greatest players this generation has ever seen. Messi and Ronaldo have spent nearly 20 years dominating world football, winning countless trophies, breaking records, and inspiring millions of people. Now, with both players entering the final stage of their careers, the opportunity to see them face each other on a stage as grand as the FIFA World Cup may never come again. That's why every step Argentina and Portugal take toward the final continues to capture the attention of the entire football world. Regardless of whether this dream showdown actually happens or not, I believe we should appreciate every moment we still have with these two legends. If Argentina and Portugal both reach the final, the world will witness the closing chapter of a rivalry that has defined football for nearly 2 decades. But even if one of them falls short along the way, the legacy of Messi and Ronaldo will remain untouched. They will always be remembered as two players who defined an entire generation and forever changed the standard of greatness in modern football. In the end, I don't know whether Argentina and Portugal will actually reach the World Cup final. Football is simply too unpredictable for anyone to guarantee that outcome. However, a conspiracy theory has recently circulated across social media claiming that FIFA could somehow orchestrate a Messi versus Ronaldo final because of its enormous commercial value. Is there any truth to that? We'll just have to wait and see. So, what do you think? Will Argentina and Portugal really meet in the 2026 FIFA World Cup final, or will one of them be eliminated before getting there? And if Messi versus Ronaldo finally becomes a reality, who do you think will end this legendary rivalry with one last victory? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more exciting football analysis and discussions.